So my name is Ondrej, and I've built Vectel, my AI startup, from zero to selling it 14 months later for $1.8 million. And I've also seen hundreds of different entrepreneurs try to start AI businesses and fail horribly because they selected terrible business ideas. So in this video, I'll show you 10 AI startup ideas you should avoid at all costs and explain why you should avoid them. First off, AI trading bots. This is a terrible idea for many different reasons. Number one, you cannot compete with Wall Street. You're completely delusional if you think you can. Number two, if your AI trading bot actually worked, you would not be trying to sell it to others. So yeah, this is a... And also, if your most trading bots, even when you build it up and running, and even if it actually is profitable, 99% of them underperform the S&P. So if you just buy the index and hold it, you would make more money than with this fancy bot. Just avoid these at all costs, please. Next category of ideas to avoid is Tinder, but for, horses. Like, that's a terrible example, but you get the point. Any dating app, anything that competes with Tinder, please avoid at all costs. Requires way too much momentum to even make a dent in the market. And you probably have no moat. You probably have no idea how these algorithms work. You have no idea how shady these apps are and like the psychological tricks they use, like recommending you people 80 kilometers away, matching you with a hot girl from like a town super far away just to give you the dopamine, but realistically you're never going to meet. There's a lot of dirty stuff behind the scenes. You have no idea about it. You're not a human psychology expert, and you will get crushed and you will most likely fail. So avoid this category of ideas as well. By the way, a bonus one when it comes to similar to the AI trading bots is polymarket arbitrage bots. This is very recent. In the last 1 or 2 months I started seeing these, but man, it will lose you money. It will lose you money, and you have no idea about markets. You have probably, like, unless you're doing insider trading, which is illegal and will land you in jail, you have no advantage, no strategic advantage. So yeah, polymarket arbitrage bots are just as bad as AI trading bots. Next up is social media apps, right? So we've all seen the success of Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, but to get these network effects going is extremely hard. So anything that tries to be a social media app, doesn't matter if it's AI powered or not, you should avoid. It's extremely hard. You have no idea how hard it is. And again, your unique twist probably isn't unique enough to reach 1 billion users. And if you don't have a lot of users, then the social media is completely useless. It's not social if there's not 0 of your friends. So avoid these as well. Next, AI text detectors. Guys, these are super funny because they do not work, okay? So you can say okay, David, but maybe there's perceived value that they work. Maybe I can implement some detection, whatever. The issue is that there's so many of these apps already, and you would just be doing deceptive marketing. There's if you prompt the right way, these AI text detectors have no idea. Also, there have been plenty of instances and plenty of stories of students and real people writing their whole essays or their homework by hand, and then because a teacher used some shitty AI text detector, it marked it as AI and failed that student. This doesn't work. These apps simply do not work. You're not going to outcompete OpenAI and Anthropic on text generation, and yeah, you'll just be scamming your customers. So do not build AI text detectors. Next up, vibe coding tools. So anything with AI coding or vibe coding, lovable competitors, Replit competitors, Claude Code competitors. Why? This is such a saturated niche, right? It is successful. Absolutely, AI is very useful for coding. And if you can find a unique twist to build an AI tool for coding or software, go for it. But I'm talking about just vibe coding tools. I'm talking about something that competes with Lovable, Bolt, V0, Replit, or something that competes with Codex, Cursor, Cloud Code. Guys, these companies have billions of dollars. Some of them tens of billions of dollars in funding. Yeah, you're not going to outcompete them. You're not going to outcompete them, and you're going to waste your time. So do not build any vibe coding tools. Next up, AI for legal, health, or government, if you don't have deep domain expertise. So this category of ideas could be good. There's plenty of startups that will make a lot of money in these industries. However, you either need lots of domain expertise, 10 plus years of experience to have any meaningful advantage, or you need some connections where you can get the necessary regulations, certificates, approvals in place, whereas your competitors might struggle with that. Or again, some just unique advantage, but it has to be a big advantage because these fields are heavily regulated and they require a lot of money to make sure everything is by the book, make sure everything is set up. So if you don't have that, and if you don't have years and years of experience in these fields, just avoid them. Next up, AI consumer hardware devices. Now again, there is going to be companies that will make billions of dollars in this category of ideas. But most of you, and even myself, should avoid these. Why? It's very difficult. Hardware is much more difficult than software, and it's way more capital intensive. Like to do any of these startups or companies, you definitely need to raise money, and you need to raise a lot of money, and you need to do it quickly at the beginning. So if you don't have a large pool of investors, if you don't have a great pitch or like a super good idea or something that would allow you to raise a lot of money very early, pre-revenue, pre-customers, you probably should avoid this. And if you don't have lots of hardware expertise, like again, five plus years, ideally 10 plus years of hardware, like someone like Palmer Luckey could definitely do this. But again, he was tinkering with VR headsets since he was like, 14, 16, I don't know. But yeah, the point is that like, unless you're absolutely obsessed about hardware, unless you know building hardware through and through and you can raise the money, you should avoid it. Most of us, again, myself included, should absolutely avoid this. It's way too difficult, way too expensive, and very high risk of failing. Number 8, shallow ChatGPT wrappers. Now, there is a super big misconception that ChatGPT wrappers are bad. Guys, serious, like you can say like Perplexity is a ChatGPT wrapper, right? I mean, at this point, they're more than that, but many successful companies are essentially wrappers on top of OpenAI's API or Anthropic API. So the reason I included the word shallow, because that's an important differentiator. What I mean by shallow is something that OpenAI could add as a feature next day, right? Something that isn't strong enough of a reason for people to switch away from ChatGPT to your app. Because, again, you can take these AI models, build a nice user interface, craft great prompts, add some other features, and make it really good for a specific target avatar, for a specific niche, and those people could get way more value from your app than from ChatGPT. That is great. That is going to be like lots of people are going to make a lot of money building these types of wrappers. What I mean by shallow is just like it's not strong enough of a reason. The difference is not big enough between your app and ChatGPT so that most people will never make the switch to your app. They'll just stick to using ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity. So that's what I mean. Next up, AI meeting transcription. So anything like Fireflies falls into this category. And the reason is, again, super competitive. Same as the vibe coding tools, number 5. This category of startups is just like flooded with competition. And I would say it's a solved problem, to be honest. Maybe someone figures out something better. Maybe I'm wrong on this. But yeah, I don't think you can do much better than tools like Fireflies. So you literally, like the rule of building any software company is that unless the product you're building is 10 times better than the existing solution, you probably shouldn't build it. Right? This comes from Ben Horowitz, the co-founder of A16Z. And it's true. Unless your solution isn't at least 10 times better than the current best solution on the market, don't build it. And you're definitely not going to build a 10 times better solution for AI meeting transcription. And last one, but not least, is anything with music. Music discovery, Spotify competitors, guys. The issue is not only is it saturated, but the bigger issue is that it's a vitamin. You want to build painkillers. You want to build ideas that solve a real painful problem. This is not that. This is a vitamin. It's something that's nice. Like, yeah, I would like to have better music discovery. I would, who wouldn't like to have an AI agent that like perfectly gives them the song that person would like, and it's like, wow, he knows me. Wow, this is amazing. Like, I love this song. This algorithm is great. Like, yeah, all of us would like that, but Are you willing to pay for it? Let's be honest. No. People aren't willing to pay for vitamins. This is a nice to have. You don't want to build a nice to have. You want to build a, oh shit, this solves my problem. This painful problem I've been dealing with for months or years, this tool solves it. Oh my God, this is better than 10 times better than anything I've ever used. Like, my business is now going to make so much more money, or this is going to save me so much more time. That is the type of tools you want to build. Painkillers, something that solves a real painful problem for people or businesses that have a lot of money. Not something that is a vitamin, a nice to have for people who don't have a lot of money. So, these have been 10 startup ideas that you should absolutely avoid, because a lot of you are building something in these ideas. So if you are, just start brainstorming more, write down 3 new ideas per day. At the end of the month, if you do this every single day, you will have 90 startup ideas. And if you have 90, chances are there's a few great ones in there. So don't get married to your idea too early. Have some sort of a dating phase, and please avoid these 10 ideas at all costs. This is David Ondrej. If you like this no-nonsense, brutally honest style, and if you are building an AI startup and you want to work with me directly to help you scale it faster, click the first link below the video and fill out the form. If you qualify, we can have a call and talk further. Have a nice day.